I heard the birds sing. It was earlier this year, after weeks of brutal cold. The kind of cold that settles in and starts to feel like it could be permanent. We had near zero temperatures for a long period of time, and a few days were brushing in the negative 20s. When it's that cold out, sometimes you stop expecting it to be any different. You just put your head down and get through it. And then unexpectedly, we had a stretch in the 40s and 50s. For us here in Michigan, that was significant. And I walked outside and stopped. The birds were singing, not just chirping, but full blown singing. That full, bright, layered sound that fills the air and it lands in your heart. And I realized I hadn't heard it all winter, not once. The birds had been at my feeder. I have a bird feeder and I love watching them. And they'd been faithful, showing up present, and a few squirrels as well. But the song had been quiet. And I hadn't even noticed it was missing until I heard it again. I've noticed seasons like that in my own life. Times when I put my head down and just pushed through. I did what needed to be done. I showed up. I carried what was mine to carry. But through it all, I wasn't singing. I was efficient. I was responsible. I was dependable. And I'm okay. Joy? Joy felt optional. Laughter felt distant. And fun felt like something other people had time for that weren't as efficient and busy as me. I didn't notice it then, but something in my life was definitely muted. And maybe you've been there too. When you're managing all of the things, staying calm, keeping it together, showing up, doing all the things we're supposed to do, and from the outside, everybody thinks it's peace. I mean, she has her things together. But peace and numbness are not the same thing. I wrote an article about this recently called Peace and Numbness Are Not the Same Thing. Catchy title, right? And here's what I said in it. Numbness is what happens when feeling begins to be too costly. When you've learned that staying closed was safer than staying open. That felt scary and vulnerable. When somewhere along the way, your heart made a quiet decision to stop asking for things because asking hurt too much if there was disappointment. So you adapted. You kept leading, you kept giving, you kept showing up. A part of you just went silent. Maybe it's been so long you don't even remember what it felt like before. It could have been always with you as a protection. This verse has been sitting with me all month. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It doesn't fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green and flourishing. It has no worry of a drought and never fails to bear fruit. Never fails to bear fruit. Not sometimes, not when the conditions are ideal, not when what's going on in the world. But it doesn't matter what's happening in the world. It happens who you're rooted in. Never runs dry. It isn't the fruit's effort. What makes it possible, it's what it's rooted in. By the stream, deep, quiet. That rooting work is some work that nobody sees, nobody applauds. The kind of thing that's going on underground long before anything visible actually changes. This is something I want you to sit with. True peace is not the absence of feeling. True peace is rooted deep enough to feel and not fall apart. That's a completely different kind of foundation. And it's available to you. Not someday, not when you've healed enough or grown enough or finally arrived somewhere, but actually right now. The word cultivate has been resonating within me. It feels, and to me, that word feels steady. Cultivate, steady, hopeful. For some reason, it brings a smile when I think about cultivate. It asks you to take a breath, take a look, to evaluate, but with a promise of growth. It invites you to lean in, to tend, to clear what might have been crowding that growth, to turn over the soil that might have gotten hard, to plant something intentional where lies used to live, to let your roots go somewhere deeper than they've been. Going back to that warm stretch we had this winter, I didn't make the birds sing. I didn't even create the conditions through my efforts. The temperature shifted, and what was in them came out. The song never left. It was just waiting for warmth. And you know, I think that's true about you too. There's a deeper song than you've yet to sing. And it's been waiting for the conditions where what's already alive in you can rise, where you remember what it feels like to be fully alive, not just productive, where joy isn't optional, where your heart can be fully open like a blossom in the sun, and where you're rooted deep enough to allow yourself to feel all the feels and not fall apart. So I'm curious, where have you been living without much laughter? Where's your song been muted? Where have you been getting by on discipline when what you really need is the stream? This is why I've created all that I'm doing this month in April, because a lot of times things are numb and we don't actually even realize it. We just need space for real, honest, unhurried space to ask questions, to ask, where has my heart gone quiet? Where have I stopped expecting something to grow? This April is called Spring Cleaning and Planting. It's 4 weeks inside my school community. But this isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about cultivation. And the date doesn't really matter because you can start this journey at any time. It's on your schedule. There's no performance, no keeping up, just deeper formation. The kind that brings your joy back. To kind that deepens your song than you have ever experienced. This is your invitation. The door is open. Spring cleaning and planting it has begun. The link is below. And if you're watching this after April, that's okay too. There's still a space for you inside the community. Come as you are. This is cultivation. And your song, it's just waiting for the right warmth and environment. And I would love to see you there. Until then, have a wonderful day.